Hello friends, Kisan is here again and welcome you in this video tutorial. In this video and next few videos we are going to explore how to perform CRUD operation in RESTful service world. Right? So we have a CRUD. When we talk about the CRUD operation, so you might have heard about the CRUD operation. Basically when you interact with the database, then you will have a CRUD operation, right? Similarly when you talk about the RESTful service world, then you have a CRUD operation, and we have a different HTTP methods, right? So we have a when you want to create a RESTful resources on the server, right? Then you have a post method. If you want to update some resources, right, RESTful resources on the server, then you have a put method. Similarly, if you want to read some resources information in RESTful service, then you have a get method, right? And if you want to delete some resources on the server, then you have a delete method, right? So in this video we'll try to explore how to create a resource on the server, right? So let's get it started. So here is Eclipse, and there in this Eclipse I had installed STS. So how to install STS in existing Eclipse, that you might have already seen in my previous video tutorial. So let's go ahead and create a project. So here go to the new and go to the file and go to the new option. So here you can see the very first option, because I have installed STS, so that's why I'm getting this option is a string starter project, a Spring starter project. So let's select this guy. Now here you will have to specify your project name. I'm going to specify something is called ticket booking management app, right? So basically we'll try to book ticket through the RESTful web services. Once we have booked, then sometimes if you want to update some information in booked ticket, then we can perform update. We can perform some updation by using put method. Again, if you want to read some booked ticket information from the server, then we have a get. And similarly, if you want to delete some already booked ticket from server, then we have a delete method. So basically in this video tutorial we'll focus on mainly on the to book a ticket. So just we will try to create a resource on the server, something like that. So package name or group ID, I'm going to specify com.infotech dot book ticket, something like that, and book ticket dot app. Similarly, package name I'm going to specify the same and keep everything as it is, right? Packaging, as I have selected Java, keep as it is, language Java version 1.8, and type Maven based projects. Let's click on the next. Now here you can select different kind of dependency. So first of all, I'm going to select wave. Inside the wave, if you expand wave, then I'm going to select wave, because we are going to create RESTful web services. So here this starter project basically will add all dependency required to create a standard web based application, and this will add also embedded Tomcat server. Now next thing we are going to expand this SQL. In SQL there are a lot of embedded database comes with the Spring Boot. So there are 3 embedded database which comes with the Spring Boot project. So first is the S2, then second HSQL DB, and third is the Derby. So all 3 dependency we are going to select in the SQL section. Now rest of the things is okay as of now. And one more thing, we are going to select JPA, so that this will add all required dependency for the Spring Boot data JPA. So now next, click on the next, and finally click on the finish. Now Eclipse will process, and finally our project is created in the Eclipse. Now now you can see the in the Maven dependency, all required dependency have been added automatically from the central repository, right? So now we'll talk about this dependency at a point of time. Now let's go to the in Java class. Here you have a package, sorry guys, so package name I'm going to rename. So I was supposed to give com.infotech, com.infotech.book.ticket.app. So this was the, I was supposed to give this package name, so just I'm renaming it. Okay, click on the continue. Now here you can see a class is already added by the Spring Boot, and this class is basically our bootstrapping classes, right? From here we can start our Spring Boot application, right? Now inside the resources you have a proper application.property. There we can add a lot of Spring related properties that we will talk about later. Now in this package, first of all I'm going to create a class first of all, and I'm going to create a class in the package is called entities, entities, and entity class name is called ticket, right? And basically let's, this class already, I have this class actually already I have created this class in my test project. So let's copy this entity class from here itself. So to understand this entity class you require little knowledge in any ORM tool. So let's copy, sorry I was supposed to, this class is already there, so let's rename it as ticket. So this is basically our entity class. Okay, sorry guys, extremely sorry, I was supposed to copy this class from my previous project or existing project. So let's copy this class, and you can see this class is basically entity class. So most of the annotations like @entity, @table, all is imported from the javax.persistence package. You can see javax, most of the import are from javax.persistence package. So these are the JPA compliant annotation. So just I have marked this class as a @entity, means this class basically represents a separate database table, and table name is called ticket. If you do not specify the table name, then table name would be considered as the class name itself. Now here we have a ticket ID, which this is the entity class property name, and corresponding column name would be ticket underscore ID, and similarly similar concept is applied for the rest of the properties. Now this ticket ID we have declared as a primary key. So at the rate ID, signifies that this property is represents the primary key, and we are not going to send values for this ticket ID. We have made auto generated, so that's the significance of @generated value, and rest of the things is self-explanatory. So we have these properties and corresponding public setter getter methods. So that's pretty much about the entity class. Right now we are going to create a service class. So let's create a package name is called .service, and I would say ticket booking service, right? And this class I'm gonna annotate as @service, @service, control shift O for organize import, right? So now we are going to create a entity class in different package. So let's create a class, a package called DAW, and I would say ticket booking DAW, ticket booking DAW, and this class I'm going to annotate as @repository, @repository. Okay, so this represents, and this is not basically class. I was supposed to declare as an interface, right? And this interface should extend something is called CRUD interface. So CRUD, CRUD repository, not interface, right? CRUD. And here we are going to use generic. So here instead of T, you will have to pass the any kind. This is basically designed for the any generic you can supply over here. So in our case we have a entity class is called ticket, and here we need to pass the primary key. So primary key, our primary key is the type of the integer itself, right? Booking ID. So let's import it, and that's it. Now we have created a, and even though if you do not annotate this class at the repository, that is also fine. So this is optional, so I'm going to remove this one at the repository. Now if you look into this interface, then in this interface comes with the handsful method, a lot of generic, this comes with a lot of generic methods. So here if you go to here, you have a you can see a lot of methods are there, right? Same methods, I travel, which returns which is if you want to save some entity class, then find one, which if you want to retrieve by the ID, all basic methods are there. So that's all about the CRUD repository. We'll talk about these things, this interface later point of time. And here we have a service class, right? So in now let's create a restful controller class. So go to the class, and here app.controller, and controller class I would say ticket booking controller, and this controller class I'm gonna annotate as @rest controller, because this represents restful controller. And we'll have to start coding from here itself. So I'm going to write first restful method public, which returns the ticket. So this is going to design for to create a ticket, create a resource on the server. So I would say create ticket, and whoever wants to consumer, when consumer wants to create a ticket on the server, then consumer has to send a ticket object, right? So that we are passing ticket object over here. Now here our controller depends on the service class. So I would say ticket booking service, right? And our controller class depends on the ticket booking service. So we have to declare, and we have to annotate this variable as @autowire, so that Spring will realize this controller depends on this service class, and that will be auto-wired by the Spring container. Now we can make use of this guy, and we can write return. As of now we don't care about any kind of error handling and all those things, we'll see separately. Now here we'll have to add create ticket, and here we'll have to pass this ticket. So we need to create this method in service class. So let's say select this option, create this method. So now, and this class has a dependency on the DAW layer. So private I would say ticket booking DAW, right? So that we have declared ticket booking DAW, and again this variable will have to annotate it as @autowire, right? So now Spring will realize this service class depends on this DAW, so DAW will be instantiated, and that will be auto-wired by the container, Spring container. and here we are going to call a method is called save.